A couple months ago, I got an email from a subscriber telling me about a cave in Arkansas that's believed to be an entrance into the Hollow Earth, or an entrance to a huge underground network of tunnels where creatures other than humans live. It's believed that many adventurers have never returned after entering this cave. This cave is known as a blowing cave, and according to articles I've read, allegedly, there have been many mysterious disappearances here. In the 1800s, when the town of Cushman was being established, people used to come to this cave and have huge dance parties. But as time went on, the locals started to fear and avoid this cave. One story comes from a UFOologist, George D. Wright. George was a huge fan of a science fiction writer, Richard Shaver. Shaver wrote about two advanced alien races who got left behind on Earth. And these aliens, the Tiro and the Diro, they live underground in huge networks of tunnels throughout the entire continent. Now, because there have been so many strange sightings of entities reported, some believe to this day that this science fiction writer, Richard Shaver, was telling the truth. Even today, people talk about the Tiro and the Diro. It is said that the Diro are more sinister in nature, but the Tiro keep them in line, or at least they try to. But anyway, this UFOologist George D. Wright in 1966 went out to investigate the blowing cave with 11 other people. And while on this investigation, they claimed to have encountered alien beings, or people that lived in the Hollow Earth. And because David was a huge fan of Shaver's writings, he believed that these beings were in fact the Tiro and the Diro. And after this encounter, they told the world about what they saw. But no one believed them. So they went back to try to get proof, but they never could, or they were told by these beings not to. Now, a couple months later, after telling the world what they encountered, George went back to the blowing cave by himself, and he was never seen or heard from again. But before he left, he gave his journal to a friend as if he knew he was never coming back. And what was written in his journal was some pretty amazing stories. In his journal, George wrote that while he was on his first expedition, he and his team found a hidden crevice that led deeper into this cave system. And while they were passing through this crevice, they noticed that they were actually walking in a glass tunnel. And after they passed through this glass tunnel, they encountered what looked like blue human beings. And these blue humans told them that they allowed them to find and pass through their tunnel. Now, these beings told these shocked explorers that they were descendants of Noah, and that they escaped the flood by hiding in the Hollow Earth, or this massive underground cave system. These explorers also noticed that there were many different beings that lived here in these huge underground cities, such as creatures like Bigfoot, humanoid reptilians, as well as many other strange-looking creatures. And I will talk about this later in the video. But after George disappeared, assuming he went to go live with these blue humans, members of this original expedition noticed that his existence on Earth started to disappear, such as his birth certificate, school records, bank details. It became like he never existed. Now, I'm not sure what happened with the other members of the original expedition, but two of them became obsessed after George vanished, and they tried to find this hidden entrance again, but they never could. One of them, while trying to find another entrance outside of the cave, died of a heart attack after being stung by bees, making the other believe that these underground beings wanted to be left alone. Now, I love stories like these, but of course I'm skeptical, and I'm sure you are too. But there have been many encounters from terrified people who have claimed to see strange-looking beings, like the Lizard Man, or the Dover Demon, or all these flying cryptids flying around Texas. Maybe they live in the Hollow Earth, and these blue humans, or humanoid reptilians who are far more advanced than us, keep us in the dark. And these creatures that we see from time to time, maybe they escaped. A lot of the time there are Bigfoot sightings, there are also UFO sightings. So what if these UFOs controlled by these advanced beings were actually trying to capture Bigfoot so they can bring him home? Like a dog owner who accidentally left the door open, and when he wasn't looking the dog escaped, so he had to go get in his car and go get him. And there are many UFOologists that believe UFOs do not come from the stars, they come from underground, especially under the ocean. Now, one thing is for sure, once you start going down these rabbit holes, there are just so many theories that keep people like me up all night wondering, what the heck is really going on?
We may well be looking at a true unknown, which is to say intelligently controlled machinery that is not understood to be in the possession of the United States, China, or Russia, which are the three most advanced countries in terms of military aviation. The Pentagon itself has admitted this continuing trend of truly unexplained things coming into the public consciousness more than they have before.
Until next time, this is Paranormal Junkie. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.